Restaurantranglisten.de, der Podcast. Hallo und herzlich willkommen, hier ist Kersten Mügge. Ich freue mich heute ganz besonders, euch folgenden Gast präsentieren zu können bei uns im Podcast, Eric Kragh Vildgaard vom Restaurant Jordnær in Kopenhagen. Ich habe ihn beim Finale zum Wettbewerb Koch des Jahres in Bonn getroffen, wo er Mitglied der Jury war. Mein Eindruck ist aktuell, dass Jordnær hat viele Gourmets, aber auch viele Köche in den vergangenen Jahren stark beeindruckt, möchte ich sagen, als Gäste dort. Gerade die Abfolge der hochfeinen Snacks am Anfang des Menüs sind stilprägend für das Restaurant und Adaptionen sehe ich davon aktuell an vielen, vielen Orten in Deutschland und anderswo. Kein Wunder, denn die Gerichte im Jordnær zeigen eine Mischung aus Perfektion und Präzision, aus luxuriöser Großzügigkeit und Wohlgeschmack, wie es wirklich selten ist. Und obwohl noch der 3. Stern fehlt, meiner Meinung nach ist das Jordnær eines der besten Restaurants aktuell und überhaupt. Schaut mal in die Shownotes, dort verlinke ich die Berichte von meinen beiden Besuchen dort. Und nun das Interview mit Eric Kragh Vildgaard.
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2.
Now it will work. Right. Okay, it's running. Eric, today you are a member of the jury of the contest Koch des Jahres, and we are here in Bonn. Why do you do that in Germany? Be part in a jury of a contest?
For actually various reasons. Number one, I think that supporting the talent all over Europe is very important. And since we grew as a restaurant and we have people's attention all over Europe and all over the world, I think it's good to contribute with a little bit of your time to give support to the industry, because we are a community worldwide. It's internationally. Chefs know chefs, and we need support from each other. And when they asked me to do Koch des Jahres, it was like, of course I want to come down to support that. Yeah.
The Nordic countries are quite successful in international contests like Bocuse d'Or and some others. Well, it's like in Eurovision Song Contests, we Germans are not so successful in this. Have you any advice what we can do, what we can improve?
I think one of not to analyze it, or I think you're such a big country with such a diverse gastronomy, and I think that people forget that sometimes when you also in Germany speak about German cuisine. It's not one cuisine; it's like a range of cuisines. You are 50 million people in Germany. We are 5 in Denmark. We have short distances. I mean, traveling from the north to the south of Germany is a 2 days ride on a horseback.
Right.
Right. It's down south. It's far, and the different kitchens and the different styles is like rooted in different cultural things. So I think that is one of the main reasons that and it's happening. I see when I follow the German kitchens, the regional restaurants are popping up and becoming more and more successful down here. I think that's one of the reasons why. Because if you overall say we're going to cook German cuisine, but what is that?
Yeah. And are you following the restaurant scene in Germany? Are you the development, what it takes, what is coming up, or what is interesting for you to visit? Or
yeah, exactly. I do follow good friends and see how they are doing better and better, and like they also follow us and seeing how we're doing better and better. And like I said, we are internationally a chef community. So of course. I think the attention towards German cuisine is increasing, also from the Nordic side, because there's a sort of like a movement starting down here in Germany. I think it's very clear to see. You have a lot of talent down here, and you have some of the best restaurants in the world. My favorite restaurant is located a few hours from here. Yeah, so yeah. So
would you tell us which?
Yeah, I do like Schlossberg with Christian Bauer behind the helm.
No surprise, a lot of German gourmets are thinking that too.
Yeah, but I do think that it's very classic, traditional in its own way, but still with a lot of energy, and it's so product driven and well tasting. It's like just up my alley at least. So, and then I have a very good friend who is running René Frank from Koda in Berlin. It's one of the most spectacular dining experiences you can have in all over Europe, because he's basing it around desserts, and I mean, it's crazy to have that vision and then go through with it and then believe so much in yourself that you end up having 2 stars and becoming the world's best pastry chef in the world's 50 best. I mean, it says a lot about the energy and the drive that there is around Germany right now.
In Copenhagen, you have something that some German chefs are missing: the international appearance, the international audience that is traveling to Copenhagen and dine around a little bit. How does it help you for your restaurant, for Jordnær?
I mean, as you know, as the restaurant is definitely, as we're running with like 70 to 80% international guests in the restaurant, but it's also due to the fact that we are a hub right now and a very focused region in the world where, due to the new Nordic wave that ran through the country for like 20 years ago, when René, he was like thinking, let's do something about this. We were not known. We were just like as unknown as like then, you know, I can't name a region, you know, like, but all of a sudden it only takes one spark to ignite a fire. And you know, when I see, you ask, we are not having international attention, but you are 50 million people in Germany.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's
that was what I prepared as a next question. The international audience can be a little bit difficult in difficult times because people are not traveling so much, or there is a change in the interest where people are going to, and we could rely a little bit more on our domestic market, on our domestic guests. And how do you cope with that?
Yeah, but we were so fortunate that we are located in a very local region, like of Copenhagen. Yeah. So when the pandemic hit and everybody couldn't travel all of a sudden, a lot of our colleagues in Denmark, they were seeing like their books went down to 0. We were fully booked in the periods where we were open in between the 2 lockdowns, 3 lockdowns actually. So because we have a lot of local support, and that is the reason why we are still alive as a restaurant, for sure. Yeah. So I think that you need to, if you have a good product, your local guests will support it, and then it will increase, you know. And all of a sudden, you know, we're fully booked. We could book the restaurant 4 times a night with international guests if we want, but we also make sure to leave a few seats for the locals because they were there when there were no guests, you know, from traveling into Denmark. So it's very important to remember your local guest for sure.
But you are doing a pop-up in St. Moritz in over the winter time in December and to the new year. Yeah. Why do you do that?
It's because, you know, I do believe that for the whole team, for the restaurant, for the ambition of the restaurant, it's good to see new things, see new environments, and, you know, get to travel as a team and experience, you know, that we're not going on holiday, don't get me wrong, but we are traveling out of the comfort zone.
Skiing might be possible.
Yes, which we can't in Denmark for sure, because we're so flat. But so to travel out and make it possible for the team to also experience a different culture, a different area of the world, and, you know, it's one of the dreams I had when opening the restaurant was like to, you know, we are never going to be rich doing what we are doing, you know, because we are so product driven, but to be able to make like memories is very important. And, you know, money, you can always make money or you can always lose money. It's not about that, but you only have a certain amount of time in life. Yeah. So use it wisely, and that's what I tend to do with the restaurant as well. So I think in the future we will see us traveling as a team every now and then to the right locations, of course. So we have some things planned for the next year as well already, and I think it's very healthy to like break out of the everyday routine and be happy, because I think the main reason to do it is like to feel that we are alive and not just standing doing the same operation day after day after day. We've been doing this for 6 years, going into the same door every morning for 6 years. And then when we had the chance to say yes to going to Switzerland.
But do you think that it's possible to present such a deep-rooted style of cooking that you have in Copenhagen? Jordnær means rooted into the soil of your home region in German, in a mountain region like St. Moritz.
Yes, I do believe that's possible for sure, because it's the people also. You know, it's the ambience. Jordnær is a way of being, and we are not changing because we're going to St. Moritz. We will be the same people. We are packing down the whole restaurant, and that is if you see me have gray hairs now, it's because of that, because it's stressing me a little bit now.
A little bit short for that.
But to pack the whole restaurant and logistically get it safe to Switzerland, that is one of the stressful moments of doing this. But we are going to bring everything, so we will just bring the whole ambience to St. Moritz, and then the products, we have set up a supply chain from the crucial products of which is basically everything, which will arrive to St. Moritz. Everything is possible.
And you have also still tested that with the time at Icarus in Salzburg, I think, right?
Yes, but and speaking about that experience at Red Bull Hangar 7 with Icarus restaurant was just magical. It was like...
What Jordnær makes so special for me is the start in the menu. You have some tiny bites, I would say, with a lot of taste. But you get one bite, a mouthful of luxury taste of great products, with a luxury feeling to get the special products like king crab, tuna, and especially caviar also, and they look so refined, so well, with a lot of work that it needs to make them so beautiful. What is the concept of this start in the menu?
When you arrive to the restaurant, you're hungry because you're out for dining. So you haven't eaten the whole afternoon, because you want to save appetite to enjoy the whole meal. But the problem is when you're hungry, you are not as concentrated on what you eat. Because if you try to go down to the supermarket and shop when you're hungry, you come home with tons of
food.
What you do? Often the wrong food. Yes. So if we say that I want to satisfy the appetite in the first 5 bites, so that's why they're building intensity towards the first dish in the menu. So you feel satisfied already at the beginning. So you can relax and put your shoulders down, and you feel and then we can build. Then we drop on the not on quality. That's on the intensity and not on the quality. But down to scallops, which is very pure, served raw. And then we build up again. So there's a lot of musicality involved in the way I design the menus, because music is a big part of my life as well. I do love it. So I think that all good music starts with either some big drums or a big guitar riff, or and then it's and then it drops down, and then it becomes a little bit more slow, and then it builds up again, but it's still it's about
But
the
the
right
size
ambience.
does matter, I think, because it's a big bite, but not enough for 2 bites, so that you have really the full mouth feeling of the product.
Yes, you feel satisfied, that yummy feeling, But the best bite is the one that you're missing a bite of, and that's the same with the dishes. You need to keep the suspension sort of on the taste. So when you have one bite and you sit after you eat the tuna and caviar, you would wish for a bite more, because it's but then you have the next one, which right now is the takoyaki with the lobster claw and the caviar and truffle. Then that is spiking as well, and it's rich and warm, and so. And then you sit there, you rinse, a little bit, and then you have the first serving. And then we build the menu, those 12, 14, 16 courses, depending on...
Another signature dish in the menu is the shrimps with the horseradish and the dill.
Yes.
What does it need, in your eyes, to establish such a signature dish that everyone who sees it knows it's from Jordnær, even if it isn't a copy from another chef?
No, but the thing is, this is you can identify the dish towards me, because it is one of those dishes I have because of my experience working at Noma, for example, where this split horseradish sauce was became one of the signature sauces in the shellfish servings at Noma as well. So this started as being my homage to Rande Redzepi and the Noma restaurant, because I was very intrigued with the whole ambience about this very light but very potent flavors. So it's very clean and clear what you eat, but you have no doubt that there's horseradish and wasabi in the dish. So you feel that spike, and then it drops. Like I said, musicality, it needs to be vibrant.
So. Your eyes, who is creating a signature dish? The chef, or is it the audience, the guests who like it so much and say, okay, we want to eat it again when we are next time at the restaurant?
I think it's a mixture of both, because there is, of course, like you mentioned the shrimp dish. When I take it off, because due to seasonality as well, people come to the restaurant and say, hey, we don't have the shrimp dish, and it's like I cannot have it year round, because it's. If I wanted to have it year round, I would have to support trawling, and I don't want to support that. Yeah. So the shrimps are there on the coastal line for a season, and right now they're not there. So they're coming in, hopefully. When we come back from Switzerland, back in March. So when we come to March, it would be back on the menu, because then they're going to the coastal shore again. Right now they're going out to the deep waters. And so the only way to fish shrimps on deep waters is to trawl it, or so.
I can assume what the answer to my next question will be, because you have a little bit stressed it before. Are you more focusing on how the menu is developing over the courses, or are you more focused in developing good dishes that stand for themselves? And look afterwards how to put them into the menu.
Every dish needs to be standing alone.
Yeah.
So you need to be satisfied by eating one singular dish. And of course, the dishes are not that big that they can fulfill your appetite. But every dish needs to be able to. You can plug it out and eat it alone without having something to build up to it, or something to build up to. So the dishes should be singular. Very good dishes, and the way I do my dishes is like, number one, products. It needs to be the best quality product I can get my hands on, or else I'm not cooking with it, because you are what you eat, and you are what you cook, and I want to be the best, so you only cook with the best. So that's the number one, and it can be I'm seafood based. It can also be about vegetables. Why would we serve a carrot which is of a poor quality? It would never happen. So it needs to be the best ingredient, and it needs to be delicious. Needs to be tasty. That's because I don't have an agenda about changing gastronomy. I just want to make people happy. And then we plate it always. When I do my first dish, it's on a white IKEA plate, because the format of which we serve a dish also plays into the intriguing enjoyment. About the aesthetics plays a big role in the cuisine of all chefs. Of course it does. If you plate it nice, it normally you eat with your eyes first. But you also need to be able to eat the dish with closed eyes and still enjoy it.
Perhaps you're not changing gastronomy, but you have some influence, because the look of your dishes, well, you see it quite often around. Even Christian Bauer has made a dessert with a homage to your caviar desserts. Yes. Is it something that you like? Because, or is it that is not so easy, because you have to stay with your style, but you have also be so individual that people know that this is a dish that you have made.
Yeah, but it's like, of course, I'm very proud of that, because if people want to work towards the style that you're creating, then of course it's a strong style, and but I think it's not important for me. A lot of people, actually, colleagues ask me, have you seen this restaurant have something similar like yours here? It's also a good dish, but you can only get my dish at Jordnær. So hopefully, by inspiring, I was inspired in my young years also by the chefs I work for and the stuff I've seen, and I'm still getting inspired by stuff I've seen. I don't proclaim to invent the deep dish every day, It's not what I'm saying, but the same reason why I'm here for the Kochs des Jahres is to support the raw talent which is out there, and if they cannot borrow a little bit from some of the guys who are ahead of them, how do we have a progress? They say people borrow, genius steal. Yeah, that saying. Yeah, so you should. I get proud when I see a similarity on a dish in another restaurant.
Eric, thanks a lot for your time.
Yes.
Well, in my eyes, it's a highlight in our 120 episodes we have already made with our podcast. I wish you all the best for you and your wife and for the whole team of Jordnær. What is coming up next year, and thanks for listening to our audience. Danke fürs Zuhören. In 2 Wochen kommt die nächste Folge. The next episode will be published in 2 weeks. Thanks a lot. Tschüss.
Tschüss.